Welcome back to Clean Skies Sunday. This was supposed to be a very good summer for the ethanol industry. Earlier this year, the EPA had indicated it would increase the amount of corn-based ethanol it allowed to be blended into gasoline. And that was a move the ethanol industry said would create more than 135,000 jobs. But last month, EPA decided to delay that decision. Back in August, Clean Skies Dan Goldstein took a closer look at what is known as the blend wall and how the ethanol industry is trying to put more corn into your gas tank.
The U.S. ethanol industry is beginning to emerge from its slump. Gasoline prices are back on the rise as the U.S. economy recovers. That means more blending of ethanol. Still, that could be short-lived if the U.S. economy double dips. But the industry says it has a way out. Raise the current blend of ethanol and gasoline to 15%, up from the current 10%.
Because we're capped at E10. So it's really a choice for the nation. This is big business. It's $66 billion, 500,000 jobs in ethanol today. It could be 600,000, 700,000 jobs. It could be $100 billion. It could replace a significant amount of the oil that we're importing.
Retired General Wesley Clark heads the ethanol industry trade group, Growth Energy. He says Wall Street won't lend money to the ethanol industry without a new market. That's why they say they need more help from Washington. They also want more flex-fueled vehicles on the road which can use E85. That's fuel made with 85% ethanol, 15% gasoline. And right now, corn is so inexpensive, it's cheaper to make fuel from corn than crude oil.
All that takes investment dollars, and all of that takes, Wall Street has to see that there's a future beyond E10 for this industry. So it's really up to the government.
But it's not just the government. The ethanol industry is fighting manufacturers of motorcycle engines, recreational sports equipment, like power boats and jet skis. They worry the increased corrosiveness of higher ethanol blends might harm their products. While the EPA acknowledges the ethanol industry is hurting, it still has doubts about E15 and E85.
While the clock ticks, our ethanol industry could be lost in the current recession. I promise them that we'll act as quickly as we can, but that we have to get the data to show whether or not these increased blends have a harmful impact on engines, because it doesn't help to increase the blend rate and then have Americans say, but you gave me gasoline that's not good, because that's going to do more to hurt ethanol in the long term than it will to help it.
Now, the ethanol industry is also helping people find E85 filling stations by putting software on their GPS. And yes, you can bet there's an app for that. Yes, there's one for the iPhone. The question is, are people ready for E85 fuel? General Clark says yes.
We've seen all the results of testing. We know they've done a lot of private testing on their own. We're very confident we can go from E10 to E15 and help the American public with lower prices on gasoline and less dependence on imported fuel. And that's a national security issue, a jobs issue, and an issue involving protecting our environment.
But not all environmentalists are so confident. They worry that increasing the blending cap will only increase food prices again. 2 years ago, corn prices soared as the industry made record amounts of ethanol to meet federal mandates.
And as we expand to 15%, if that is what the administration decides to do, of course we're going to be tightening up our food-to-fuel balance even more, making us more vulnerable, and countries around the world, particularly poor people around the world, more vulnerable to sudden price run-up.
The ethanol industry says that won't happen, pointing to studies that show corn prices might rise just 0.2% if E15 is approved. In the meantime, the ethanol industry will have to keep waiting to see if these acres of corn become more than just a field of dreams.
EPA now says that by September it will make a decision on higher blends of ethanol.